targeting innocent civilians and journalists is not American. It's a war crime. Remaining silent about those war crimes is also a crime. What Bradley Manning did takes bravery and courage and character and conscience. Remaining silent about those war crimes is an act of cowardice.
Not my enemy.
Free Bradley Manning!
Free Bradley, not my enemy.
Free Bradley Manning!
Ready to Bradley Manning.
Free Bradley Manning!
Hi, my name is Senior Airman Heather Linebaugh. I was in U.S. Air Force, geospatial analyst. I worked with the drones, and I'm here in solidarity of Bradley Manning because I know exactly what he went through and the kind of danger that he had to face when he divulged all this information to the American people. And I'm a full supporter of that, and I completely support telling the American people what's really happening because we could not.
Free Bradley Manning. Free Bradley Manning. Free Bradley Manning.
Free Bradley Manning! Free Bradley Manning!
Free Bradley Manning. Free Bradley Manning. Free Bradley Manning. Free Bradley Manning.
My name's Evan Appenberger. I was in the Army from 2003 to 2007. I went to Intel school, the same one that Bradley Manning did. I was a 96B Intel analyst in Iraq, all of 05, and all of 06. And I support Bradley because what he did was an act of conscience. He saw something that he disagreed with on moral grounds, and he acted, which is the most heroic thing I think you can do, and put himself on the line.
Well, because of my experiences in the U.S. military myself and also being put in solitary confinement in the U.S. Prison system, I immediately identified with Bradley Manning when I first heard about this case, and I organized the first press conference in support of Bradley Manning in the steps of City Hall in New York. And it's just been something I'm really dedicated. I was at Quantico, at the White House. I was one of the speakers at the last rally here, and I'm back again. And honestly, with my finances and my medical, I just burnt the shit out of my leg on a motorcycle exhaust. I wouldn't come.
Get a shot of that?
Yeah, I really burnt the fuck out of my leg, man. I wouldn't have come unless I'm really dedicated to being here right now. Because
that needs some treatment, seriously.
I'm putting a neosporin on it, you know.
Well, that's a petroleum-based product, man. It's actually not really good for your skin.
Not okay, but
but
it's getting better. But like I said, and I got my disability exam on the 5th. I got to be back in North Carolina for that. So you know, I'm really dedicated. But you know what people got to understand is. Bradley Manning's already pled guilty to enough charges to get him 20 years in prison already. There's the likelihood of them not giving him anything but a life sentence is almost slim to none, I think. So we got to consider this as a long-term effort to eventually get him out of jail. Like, I've worked on a lot of different political prisoner cases, and they don't go fast, you know. So you have to be dedicated, and people got to keep this going. You know, not just look at this as, oh, the trial starts, we made this rally, and kind of forget about Bradley Manning a year from now. You can't.
I've been a member of the New York City chapter of Veterans for Peace, number 34, for over 10 years now, since the Iraq War started. And I knew the Iraq War was bad news even before it started. We had a big march in New York City at the UN in February of 2003. And of course, Bradley Manning, what he did, which was akin to what Dan Ellsberg did for the Vietnam War in releasing classified documents that showed that the war was a crime. And for that, he's being railroaded into possibly life in prison. So I'm here to say this is bullshit, and that he should be given a medal for what he did, for alerting the American public to the dirty war we were waging in Iraq. Anyway, that's why I'm here today, to let Brad know there are a good number of us that really care about his situation.
I'd like to express the radical notion that war is a queer issue, but Bradley Manning...
Because I know half of you all, and you all be in jail. That's right. We go to jail for justice. We go to jail for people like Bradley Manning that stand up for the truth. We go to challenge the policies of assassin drones, to challenge the policies of holding people in indefinite detention. We challenge the policies against the Cuban Five that tomorrow night there will be...
GoPro, HD, wide angle.
Truth is not the enemy. 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 Live streaming right now. One question. Where'd you get that camera? Arrest Barack Obama! Arrest Barack Obama! Arrest Barack Obama! Free Bradley Manning! Arrest Barack Obama! Free Bradley Manning! Arrest Barack Obama! Free
Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now!
Free Bradley Manning! 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 Free Arrest Barack Obama! Free Arrest Barack Obama! Free Arrest Barack Obama! Free Arrest Barack Obama! Arrest Barack Obama!
Hey everybody. Hey, thanks to everybody who came from a long distance to come here and stand with us. It's really important. I don't think Fort Meade's seen a rally like this since the early 70s, probably, so. We're just going to wait for this other mic. So my name's Ryan Harvey. I'm an organizer with the Bradley Manning Support Network. And I'm a folk musician, and I'm also part of an organization called the Civilian Soldier Alliance. And there's a lot of us out there doing work with veterans and active duty military personnel to resist all of the wars and occupations that this country's involved in. And to represent for veterans returning home to a crappy mental health care system in the VA. And to fight for reparations for the people of Iraq and Afghanistan for the damage that we've caused. All of it. And is that coming through here? I wanted to sing this song because I sang an anti-war song earlier. And I wanted to talk about another aspect of what Bradley Manning did, another movement that Bradley Manning is part of. And that's the movement that spurred around the world in 2011. You can call it whatever you want. Some people call it the Arab Spring, the Occupy movement, the Indignados. It's just the thing. It's the thing. It's the movement that blew up. And Bradley Manning's been as much a part of that since his time in Iraq and his time in solitary confinement and his time now at Leavenworth and Fort Meade and all this stuff. And all the actions he's taken has been part of that movement, and we shouldn't forget that. So I'm going to sing a song about that movement. It's called Can't Turn Back, and it's about dealing with the struggles and the problems of being part of a social movement, but remembering that when you run into problems, you got to push through them from within a social movement, not by stopping because there's problems. You fix the problems and you keep going. It's just called Can't Turn Back. Well, I've seen the bitter worker whose labor paid little in return, struggling to meet the monthly bills with the little that she earns. And I've seen the developer and the banker with the double-bladed loan, who in the name of economic law pushes people out their homes. And I've seen the polished skylines rising up through the thick yellow haze, where the number crunchers and corporate thieves are now counting down their days. And I know we got a long way to go, but we're on the right track. And I've seen the gang fighter with a misplaced but justified rage, fighting his brother on the broken streets till they put him in a cage. And I've seen the politicians lie into the faces of the poor about fixing the conditions of their lives with one hand on the door. And I know we got a long way to go, but we're on the right track. Yeah, we're on the right track. And I know we got a long way to go, but we can't turn back. 'Cause I've seen the people's movements in Iceland and Oakland and Greece, in Egypt, Tunisia and Chile and Spain, saying it's our time to speak now. We're gonna speak now and there. A hope is rising, a whirlwind in an era of change that's born from the rejection of a bitter fear that's now falling like the leaves. It's falling like the leaves. And I know we got a long way to go, but we're on the right track. Yeah, we're on the right track. And I know we got a long way to go, but we can't turn back.
It is us who plowed the prairies, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railroad laid. Now we stand outcast and starving midst the wonders we have made, but the movement makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever.